What's going on, Cowboy? In this video, we've got a new crypto project called Players Only, and we have the mind, the developer, the founder, the CEO behind it all. His name is Tuan, and we're going to be grilling him up, some grilled up Tuan in this video because we want to figure out, is he a scammer? Is he someone we could trust and our hard-earned money and time into? Is this project going to go away and just die off? Or is this something that is a long-term good bet? You and I are going to figure that out for ourselves. Look, I'm not your financial advisor. My name is Aaron. I'm just a cowboy, right? With a lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency with a whole bunch of other cowboys. So if you want to roll with us, hit the subscribe button down below. Join us in the saloon where we're always talking about the latest and greatest crypto project. And here's the thing. When you and I are trying to do some research on crypto, these different crypto projects, these new ones, the only real two places are other people like in these groups or YouTubers. Now here, let me clue you into something. When you watch YouTubers like talking about a coin, a lot of times they are getting paid and paid a lot of money. Now there's a problem with this because they don't do it too well in my experience. They'll play a video in the video. They won't even like cut to the video or whatever. So they do a terrible job of it. The developers aren't happy because they don't talk about their project with, that fire, that the same fire that they would have. They don't have the same type of insight. And the YouTuber gets paid and we get terrible information because it's biased. You know what I'm saying? They're getting paid. So the best thing to do, from my end, is to just talk to the founder himself, right? That's the best thing to do because then you could feel like, okay, is this guy really passionate? Do I get a good vibe from them? This is why all these venture capitalists, they have to meet the founders before they even invest their money into it. And you and I need to take our investing seriously. So in this video, we're going to be talking to Tuan, and he is the founder behind Players Only. But this is an opportunity for you to do your own best research on this project. Okay, of course, I'm getting compensated for this, which is part of the deal. But you and I get the best source of information. So in this video, we've got Tuan in the hot seat. Tuan, what's going on, man?
What's up? Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Happy to be here to answer all your questions unedited.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Look, before we even get to Players Only, we need to know about you. Who are you as a person coming into crypto? What's your background? What have you brought into? Do you have experience? Do you have any of that stuff? Let me know your origin story, who you are.
Yeah, of course. I started out in investment banking. Great with numbers, but the time I was in investment banking, it was just so monotonous, and I wanted to get into tech. So I pivoted over to software engineering. I've been there for 15 years. I've worked at a couple startups. I have a master's in computer science and I have an MBA from Durham University out of London. So I'm the best of both worlds in terms of leading a project. So I can take care of the tech side and actually talk to stakeholders and really get the message across and get the product out the way it should be.
That's awesome. So you've come in the investing banking area and the tech area. And so you're merging these two experiences. You said 15 years in tech, which is a long time, a long career. All right. And you bring that to Players Only. Now, help me understand, what is Players Only? What's it all about?
Players Only is a social media platform focused on athletes, specific athlete, underrepresented athletes. We found out that there was a problem where underrepresented athletes weren't getting the exposure they needed to get a scholarship or make it to the next level for an education, perhaps going to a Division II or Division III school. So we wanted to make a mashup of a social media platform where they could create a professional profile, connect with schools and recruits. And these recruits can follow their career in high school and they can watch them progress as an athlete and see if there's a match. So giving them more exposure. Because we realize that most of these athletes won't make it to the pro level. There's a very small percentage. But if they can get a full ride education, that's more than anything they can ask for. And especially, I'm not sure if you're familiar, recently, July 1st, the NCAA lifted their name, image, and likeness law. So athletes can actually monetize on their name, image, and likeness. So now on all social media platforms, these athletes can go out, get sponsorships, promote products, and get paid for it without losing their scholarships.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So it's a social media platform designed for athletes or players only, right? That's the name. And it's designed for lesser known players, athletes. So I'm guessing high schoolers, right? You're saying high schoolers to then enter into it and then have a track record of, for going into college. Is that about it?
It's You almost got it there, but that's actually for every athlete. We want to get it from the point they're in middle school all the way to the pro level. So essentially, what's going to happen as the company progresses, as a middle school, you go in, you create a profile, you log your club team, you start logging your height as you grow. So scouts can actually monitor your height and how you're growing and how your athletic ability is. You can load up your achievements, all the achievements you've gotten in terms of awards or how your team has performed or what tournaments you have played in. So scouts can see all that. And then when you make it to the high school level, of course, you can start connecting with brands and monetizing on your name, image, and likeness. And as you get to the college level, you no longer need that recruiting aspect of the platform. Now our next platform is connecting you with brands. So when you're at the university level, you're actually monetizing on your name, image, and likeness because you have a bigger platform at the collegiate level. And then at the pro level, of course, we're going to use it as a platform to monetize as well and get your message out there for the brands that you're currently working. So essentially, you're giving yourself a new platform outside of Instagram or Twitter. It's just another platform. And it's strictly focused on the sports community. So brands are going to love it more because it's a targeted audience.
Got it. Yeah, I could get with the target audience. So I'm just trying to get the good grasp on this. It seems like you have different target markets for different and different goals for each one, right? So a middle schooler would want to join this thing to track its career, his or her career into college or into the university level. And that's where they could branch off, right? They could either turn pro, they could start to monetize X, Y, Z, right? Or like someone in a like a B league, right? Like like semi-pro, amateur level. They're trying to either go pro or monetize themselves in that same way. What does monetization look like for someone who's university or semi-pro or B tier athlete? What's that look like?
Right now, it's all over the board. It depends on your following and your reach in terms of your audience. And it could be anywhere from $50 to $1,000 a post. And I'm not sure if you followed some of the news. Some of the top quarterbacks at the football level, NCAA football level, Division I, are getting $1 million contracts, and they're signing with the agencies. So the potential is limitless. And especially, we've also understand that there's some athletes that play for smaller towns, and we have an idea where we're going to reach out to local businesses where they love to support local athletes, like car dealerships or restaurants. So we can connect them that way in terms of promoting locally to that demographic.
Okay, so you're saying that. So give me the number one thing. What's the number one way you see that like someone in a university, an athlete in a university or pro level or semi-pro level would monetize?
Product placement. Coming out and say, I support this product.
Gotcha.
XYZ. Yeah.
Okay. So product placement. So here's my, I guess, the roadblock in my lizard brain, right? It being a social media company, essentially, right? And we could tie it to crypto a little later, but it being a social media company right now, social media is only valuable. It's a network good, right? It's only valued by how many people are on the network, how many people are looking at it. Why wouldn't they go just to Instagram and just post all this kind of stuff and track their stuff, track their achievements, track all that kind of stuff, versus why players only? Like, I'm not seeing the USP here, the unique selling proposition.
Unique selling point, it's sports specific. If you're a sports fan, I guess what the disconnect is, fans can join too. Fans can join the network.
Okay.
But they just can't post content. They can engage with athletes. They just can't post content. So when you come on the platform, it's strictly sports. So if you're a sports fan, we're filtering through all the other noise versus Instagram. You don't see food content. You don't see travel content. If you're a fan, you're going in there. It's all sports content.
Gotcha.
And if you're a marketer, you love that. You're targeting your initial target audience, a sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
So fans are able to go on and engage and interact with athletes, and brands will be able to do that as well.
Is there like another social media company that does something like this, like for sports specific?
There is a couple, but I won't name them. But in terms of technology, we're so far ahead of them in terms of the technology. We have so many posting features. We have a note features, which is similar to Twitter. It's a 160 character post. We have the photo option. We have the video option. And we also have a replay option, which is a 15-second clip, which is a version of TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Okay. So essentially, you're creating like how do they know that they're not an athlete. You know what I mean? Most of the time, athletes follow other athletes. So, like, I could be considered an athlete just because I do jujitsu. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I could be like, and I've competed in tournaments or whatever. Like, what's the qualification here? Like, that's a little missing in my brain.
Right. We actually have a vetting process. When you sign up, you're initially targeted as a fan, and then we go through a vetting process where we check your social channels to make at least you're in some sort of organizational team sport, or if you're part of a individual sport. So we go through it's not a stringent vetting process, but we want to make sure that you play the sport in some sort of official capacity.
Okay. And so how many? So where are you in development in this platform now?
We launched iOS in July with about 6,000 users.
Oh,
Android is getting ready to launch, and we're in the testing phase right now.
oh, you have 6,000 users?
Yeah, a lot of Division I athletes. Tennessee, USC, we have major athletes on there. Yes, at the
hold the phone. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get to that place where I'm like, okay, who's going to join this with 0 people? But you don't have 0 people. You have 6,000 people. Of that, you said athlete, like you said UFC athlete. Like that perks my ears. Like,
yeah. We have field hockey, we have badminton, we have tennis, we have golfers.
Who's your biggest dudes?
Oh, we have the whole. I think we have the whole offensive line of Tennessee Vols. LaBruzza. I know one. We have a couple of players from Jackson State, from Deion Sanders' teams.
Okay.
We have a few Division I athletes on there. Quite a few.
Okay, so I guess when they joined, what were they saying? Why were they joining? Like, what did they see that is like disconnecting in my brain here?
The biggest thing was a lot of them, not the Division I guys, but a lot of the lower guys, especially like baseball players and softball players. They like, I wish I had this when I came up through high school. It would have been easier for me to get into probably a higher school or higher division, and just for me an area to connect with other athletes and connect with schools. So they said this was a missing component. So
correct me if I'm wrong. I was thinking about it. I mean, you said social media, but really it's turning out to be a directory, right? I mean, like it's kind of the same both sides, but you're wanting to create like a reservoir of these athletes from middle school on so that people can come in, and at least that's this person's like USP here. Like they said they wanted it when they were in middle school, and they wanted a track record of this thing so that people could come and see that. I mean, at least is that about right? Because I know you said there's a lot more. Obviously, there's a lot more with the fan engagement and all that kind of stuff. But at least for that athlete, I'm hearing, yeah, I wanted this when I was in middle school because it would help me get into more opportunities. Is that fair?
Absolutely. You're actually really digging deep on what we're trying to do. The next phase of the platform is the enterprise application, which is a directory of all the university and scouts. So they'll have direct access to every student on board.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what we're trying to do is when COVID lifts up, we're going to be partnering up with a lot of camps, sports camps, and we'll actually be going there and actually building verified data of these athletes. So these schools don't have to...
verified data?
Yes.
By how? Like oracles? Or...
No, in terms of like just getting their measurements. So like a football player, how fast are you officially running a 40-yard dash? And we're going to measure that. And these scouts don't have to travel all over the country just to scout 10 athletes. We'll do it in one go. You come to our thing. It's all verified.
I see it. I see it now. I really do. I see like it connected with me because one of the things that people do is, so a little bit about my background. I wrestled in middle school, wrestled in high school, kind of did some stuff in college. I wasn't that great, like I was just floundering around in college. Collegiate level's too hard. Okay. So the reason why I didn't do so great is because I was trying to strive for these bigger colleges and stuff like that. And so I was competing with these bigger ones, but I had no concept of like, hey, maybe I could apply to smaller colleges or whatever. There's a wider pool of advancement or whatever. And I think if I was more well known, right, or if I was part of like some kind of pool or reservoir or something, like, hey, maybe I wasn't picked up by like the D1 schools or whatever, but maybe like a lesser known school or whatever. Maybe that would have been an option for you. So it's not that you're actually not competing for the same spots as everyone's going to these spots, but maybe it's like, hey, now we've got an open it's open season for a lot of people to like kind of discover you and find you, because it's very difficult. Like you've got, like you said, noise on social media. Like you have like cooking and every celebrity and all that kind of stuff. So this makes a ton of sense. This makes absolute ton of sense, because now you've got, social media is like, to me, it's like everyone goes and shares their opinion. So there's like a pivot that I need to make in my brain where like it's not just kind of a sounding board, but it's like it's a social directory is probably a different term for it that I'm just kind of making up right now.
Yeah, just think of LinkedIn for athletes, a more professional social media. LinkedIn is considered a social media, but sometimes you don't look at it like that.
A LinkedIn for athletes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes all this. And I mean, like what stood out to me is like the verification of achievements and all that kind of stuff. Because then if it is verified, like for instance, you get, let's say you have some kind of scout or whatever, and they're, let's say, approved by Players Only, and they go in, they take the data for some kid, they put it as an oracle, they put it onto the blockchain, and because of that, it gets shot out to everybody. This concept is done in real estate, actually, funny enough, where people will go out, scope out a property, and put the information on there, and then they send it out to a whole bunch of like buyers. And essentially, you're scoping out not a property, but a kid, and sending it out to a whole bunch of not buyers, but schools or talent scouts or whatever.
Right. You absolutely got it. That's what the vision is. The vision, even for my vision, I want to take it a step further, where we want to actually get to the point where we understand coaches' schemes in terms of how they run their offense and how they run their defense, and use artificial intelligence and find that diamond in the rough that fits their system to a T. So they don't need to get a top 100 player to fit their system. We can find you a diamond in the rough that just fits your system.
Yeah.
I just think of the whole New England Patriots system. They don't get the best players for every position. They get the guys that fit the system.
Yeah.
And we want to do that. So.
Absolutely. So you could be like, I need a lineman. I need someone this tall, this kid this tall, at this age range, at this like percentile of body weight or whatever.
Exactly. He has quickness. He has quick lateral movement that fits our system. Oh, you found a kid in Idaho that fits it, and he's not even found?
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. This makes a lot of sense, especially like, I don't think this will make a lot of sense for people in like the dealing in crypto. You're dealing with a lot of nerds, right? Maybe not so much anymore. I mean, you're in here with the strong jawline and the cool glasses. So I'm not sure about you, right? You're not a nerd, but some other these guys, we don't understand sometimes like how like the exact, I guess, data points that people are looking for. It's not just like a hype highlight reel, because that's all that will stand out on social media. But if someone can kind of search, like maybe there's a filter, and like you could search like, hey, this weight or this height or whatever, that's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, but that stuff is all on the back end. So the people who are the fans who look at from the front won't see all that stuff. Yeah, it's the schools that will see that. So it won't be so. You don't have to be a nerd to see that, because they won't see that. But when you talk about the hype points, that's a great, interesting point that you bring up, because we have this feature called a leaderboard. So based on your engagement on the platform and how much you post, how much you come back, for fans, athletes, brands, or whatever, you earn points. We call them GOAT points, greatest of all time points. And you earn based on your engagement. So you go up the leaderboard every week. We track it every week, and eventually we'll implement it. We're going to add some other features in terms of fans and athletes be able to redeem them for certain things that we'll be talking about soon.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the fans are like the front end of it, right? And that's the social part of it, right? So they could interact, they could discover and stuff. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, scouts and talent agents, they'll pay for this. They'll pay for access to use this platform. I think they would pay you big bucks, honestly. Just like, hey, instead of traveling, especially with the pandemic stuff, like they're gonna want to get, people might not want to get on a plane and travel, all that kind of stuff. So just give me the data. Let me see this. Let me see a whole wide range of people fit this person into our system. Tell me how you're going to grow this network. At the end of the day, right? This is a social media network, and it's a network good. And the more people on the network, the more valuable it is. So tell me, how do you make this thing more valuable? How are you going to grow this thing? What's the plan to grow it?
Our initial campaign was straight outreach on Instagram. And once one player signed up, the rest of the team wanted to sign up.
Oh,
And I think we're going to do the same approach. And I think we're going to target more high school students, middle school students, because they're a little bit more active. They have a little bit more free time. So our next phase in a couple of weeks will be a huge campaign towards middle school and high schoolers to really grow the network going into the top of the year.
gotcha. Yeah, it really surprised me. I mean, I think you saw it on my face when you said you had 6,000 athletes. A lot of them are like college, university level, pro level people.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me who was your biggest names though on there. I think you said the Tennessee, the team, right? So a whole team.
Yeah, there's probably 6 or 8 Tennessee Vols football players,
Gotcha.
few basketball players, some USC football players. I got some. They're spread across the country.
Okay,
So
okay, gotcha. And so now your next biggest push is on the middle schoolers. Is that what are you going to do? Just Facebook ads or just direct reach to Instagram?
Instagram, we're gonna do some Instagram ads. We're gonna run some campaigns, some giveaways. Really, really push it out there. Do a real blitz because we'll have Android available, so that will actually open the place up for a lot of users, and especially
Gotcha.
overseas users. We're just not targeting North America. We're talking about soccer players across the world. So
Yeah, I was
we're
about
just
to
not really
ask
much.
that. There's athletes all over the world here. Do you have any particular countries or particular sports you'd like to see onboarded here?
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah,
Soccer is such a massive sport across the world. That's one of our targets. Our goal is to just give these soccer players in these countries a platform so they can showcase their skills and possibly get a free ride education in North America or in Europe or whatever, and give them an opportunity to excel.
yeah.
Some of them don't have the platform to do that. They could be highly skilled and highly motivated, but they just don't have a platform. And we want
Very,
to deliver that.
very interesting use case there. That's yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Like, hey, you know what? Now you've opened up to the whole world as far as people onboarding to this platform. Like, hey, if you're a soccer player, put your stats here and let's see if we can get you a place somewhere. That's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
interesting, and that could
Yeah.
be like life changing, actually, for sure.
That's for lifetime for a lot of people in different countries. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so help me understand the crypto part of this. Okay, so now we've got this platform, and you don't honestly, you could run that, you could create that without crypto backing it at all. How does the crypto aspect mesh with that?
It's a funny story. I wasn't planning on adding crypto until next year, but a friend of mine said it's a bull market. You should hop in and create a token for it. I was like, okay. I spent the last 2 months creating this token, doing the fundraising for it, and eventually I want to bring in the token inside the app and use it as a currency.
Well,
So fans, athletes will be able to earn tokens
yeah,
based on their
so
engagement.
yeah, it's got to be some kind of intrinsic value to it, though, right? Like, can the token unlock special, like holding the token, can it unlock special features of the app or the platform, or like, is that the only thing that you could spend, or like how does it integrate?
Well,
Why does it matter?
I think we wanted to create a currency because anybody loves to earn money. It will have some value because there will be some monetary. It'll be paired with another token, so there will be value where they can redeem it, and they can also fans can invest in athletes. Fans can pay athletes for services, perhaps a happy birthday shout out. So athletes will be able to earn tokens by doing services. We're also doing NFTs for athletes. So we're bridging by next year. It's already under development right now. We're creating an NFT sports marketplace. So it'll be a seamless transition for every athlete that's on our platform. We will help assist them to mint an NFT and put it on our platform and sell it for them. All they have to do is market themselves on all their social platforms. And the more they market, the more money they can earn.
Got it. But the problem is that I bet you some of these athletes won't want to be paid in players only token, right? I mean, just honestly, if you're an athlete, you're probably going to want, and you're into crypto, you're probably going to want Bitcoin or Ethereum or some of the big guys. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, why wouldn't they just accept Bitcoin rather than your native token?
That's a good question. We'll probably explore more of it. We'll probably get feedback from the athletes, and then we'll pivot from there.
Okay.
Nothing's written in stone. That was our first concept of how we were going to utilize the token in terms of utility.
Hmm.
So we put it in there. Perhaps we would include another stable coin on the platform that allows them to get Bitcoin. But we might be able to incentivize our native token with some sort of staking and some sort of earnings when they hold it. So
Yeah.
we'll figure that out as well.
Gotcha. And I think it's important to understand you just launched this year, like, right? Like July, like how far, what kind of stage are you in as far as development? As far as like, maybe give me like a hard example of like, how early is this project here?
It's we're since I'm a tech guy, we actually really did it pretty fast. We launched iOS in July. We launched Token in November. We were getting ready to launch Android. It's under testing. Should probably in a few weeks. I said Q1, but we're really pressing. We could be Android pretty soon, and the web apps coming in Q1, and then NFT Marketplace is coming late Q1. So we're gonna have a whole network for athletes and
Awesome.
fans.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's basically like the garage stage of a tech company, right? So if people are getting involved here, we need to know like, hey, there's a lot of good stuff coming up, but this is still the very early and very beginnings, which is great because there's, a lot of big milestones to be accomplished here. Um,
Absolutely.
I think that's super important to always understand that position, or what stage of the company we're in, because in crypto it goes lightning fast sometimes, like like immeasurably fast. I'm like,
Right.
what are you thinking? We're gonna have to have $1 million subscribers by, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
So
Right.
so you mentioned some of this. What is the next most exciting thing, like price catalyst for players only?
I mentioned the NFT marketplace, NFTs for athletes. Of course, that's going to be all Q1.
I
But
would imagine it's
we're
that and the Android, right? I mean,
and the Android, yeah, we're very close to being done. So I guess that won't be the biggest stage because that'll be released soon. What
yeah.
I've been very fascinated about, we've already started conceptualizing it, is I'm a very forward thinker. Is the sports metaverse.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, but
What's a sports metaverse?
it's going to be a unique a virtual world that exclusively about sports. We're gonna have a first phase probably in the middle of the year. I'm conceptualized. I can't let too much information leak out, but it's going to be pretty cool.
Okay, so
Um,
like, what is a sports metaverse though? Like go on there and play sports? Like what am I doing here?
it's a virtual world. Imagine token owners can own things that they couldn't own in real life, and fans and athletes can go in and interact in a sports environment
Okay,
and deliver experiences that where you don't even need to leave your home, the comfort of your own home.
okay. So like playing your favorite sport with your favorite athlete type of deal.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
something like that.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool. Like that'd be pretty sweet. Like playing Sims, but you're playing like baseball with, I don't know,
right,
as
right.
some your favorite baseball player or whatever.
Yeah, we're very interested in that area. We've fast tracked a lot of the traditional, I guess, centralized components.
Hmm.
We're also thinking about having it completely decentralized. We're still looking at the tech for that, having the whole system decentralized, because a lot of talk has been Web3. Uh, all these social medias are centralized companies. They're big corporations. They don't give back to the content creators and whatnot.
Hmm.
So Web3 is about giving back to content creators, and we want them to have some sort of ownership in the network when they create content. And then we're hoping to facilitate that through our token. So the more content you create, the more engagement you put into the network, you should have some sort of ownership in it.
The more reward you get back for it.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay, so is there anything left that's on the table that you haven't talked about? Anything secret that you haven't like revealed, that it's creating a fire in your belly right now, that what I mean? Like, what is some deep secrets for players only, that you'd like to reveal for us?
I don't think I have too many secrets. We do have a lot of big announcements coming up. Possibly a lot of pro athletes, influencer hopping onto the platform, pushing the platform. We're going to have a lot more financial support, not in the crypto world, but more of a traditional VC world that's going to be supporting the project. So those are little things that we're looking to implement at the top of the year
Oh,
and really, really push this network to where it's capable. The token, a lot of our current investors after the token are pushing us to do certain traditional things in terms of marketing the token and whatnot. But I try to tell them that this is a long-term project and that's not where we're headed. We're actually giving you product now. We're not selling a vision. We're actually delivering our product. Our product will be full scale at the top of the year.
awesome. Awesome. So what kind of partnerships are you looking at? You said VCs, and whenever someone here says that, my ears perk up a little bit. So what kind of partnerships are you aiming for? What do you have right now? All that kind of stuff.
Well, prior to even launching the token, we had venture capitalist interest, but I held them off and decided to go down the coin route, the token route, and did that. Now I feel that the company is even a little bit more mature, and then with the Android coming up and the web app coming up, VCs are going to be even more interested because we actually have a product with market fit and usability and a currency. So we have a whole bunch of components, and we actually will be able to monetize fairly quickly in 2022. So that's always a key component for venture capitalists. When are you going to actually have revenue? And we feel we'll have revenue in 2022.
Got it. How big is your team?
We're 7 right now.
Got it. And how much of the token supply does the team own?
We own 20%. We have 30% reserve and 20% for founder tokens, which haven't been distributed. They're all locked. We have liquidity locked for 1 year.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. The tokens, the founder tokens are vested, and they're locked for a year. It's tiered, so it's 8% every month starting in February.
Got it. Okay.
So I did everything. I locked everything. I locked liquidity. We're KYC'd. We're vetted. We're double audited. We're InterFi audited, and we're also CertTech audited.
Oh, great. CertTech too. Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, we did all our checks and balances just to make sure everybody knew that we're a serious company. We're not a fly-by-night company. We're a long-term tech company.
Cool. I got 3 more questions for you here.
Sure, of course.
The first question is: did you play a sport when growing up? What's your sport?
I played lacrosse.
What is lacrosse for those of us who don't know?
Lacrosse is a field sport where you have a stick with a little net, and you run across the field and you try to scoop this ball up and you try to throw it into net with a guy with a longer stick that tries to hit you.
Got it. So like Quidditch or something, yeah.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
So
So that's the first one. All right, Tuan. So what is your passion behind Players Only? Why are you so passionate, so invested? Like, give me the heart behind this whole project.
I just wanted to create a platform that gave every kid an opportunity to reach their highest potential. Have it be any level, have it be Division 3, Division 2. If they love sports, get there. And now also, that's it, just delivering an opportunity and a platform. Because I'm a first generation immigrant. I just hope that I create a platform for anybody that wants to excel in life. I worked hard to where I got to, but I didn't have the platform. So I made some bad decisions, made some good decisions, but I took the long route. And I'm hoping this platform hopefully speeds up the path for most people,
Gotcha.
For young kids. Yeah.
Gotcha. I totally get that sentiment for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're watching this video and you're this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you think Players Only is for you, check out the description below. I'm not your financial advisor, but this is a lot of good research for you. But you can only you can make the call, right? If you make money, that's on you. If you lose money, you could blame me, but that's on you too. But check out their website, check all their links. They're all down in the description. Tuan, I got one last question for you. In a world full of different crypto projects and all this stuff, and someone say the Cowboys on the fence still saying like, I kind of see what Aaron's saying, kind of don't really agree and kind of agree, or they're on the fence. What is something that you could just say to them to help them like make a decision, like whether or not for you or against you or whatever, like give if you're there on the fence, what is it the last ditch effort that you could tell them?
I actually, unlike most projects, I actually have a product that you can actually use. The iOS is out. You can actually go to the Apple Store and download it. The Android will be out in a few weeks. You'll be able to download that if you're an Android user. We actually have a product with a market fit and usability. So we're ahead of a lot of companies coming out saying, this is my roadmap phase 1, 2, and 3, getting on certain sects and whatnot. We actually have a product. So getting ready to get using, we're getting ready to have revenue. So that's why.
Awesome. Hey, heck, download the app too, as a matter of fact, and check it out yourself. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, really appreciate it. Do your own research, guys. Don't overthink things, right? Cowboys, we ride into the Wild West, but we can't overthink things. We have a lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands. Tuan, thanks for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.